Are you excited about the potential idea of WWE taking WrestleMania on the road to London Wembley Stadium? Well, we got some bad news. Plus, we're going to talk about AEW and NXT. Some really, really good things to know coming up right here on The Ango Show. Welcome back to The Ango Show. Don't forget, we are live Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern on this account specifically. We go live. We talk about everything. And don't forget, we're also going live on TikTok. So if you're not following me there, make sure you guys follow me at AngoPW. I want to kick things off with Jesse Ventura. It appears that WWE has plans to bring in Jesse Ventura for Saturday night's main event. It's taking place in December. WWE does have plans for him. Dave Meltzer was talking about this in the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. It hasn't been confirmed whether or not Jesse Ventura will be on commentary, whether he'll do a backstage interview segment or anything. But right now, the plan is for him to be involved in the show. And I kept thinking about Saturday night's main event. There are tons and tons of rumors. WWE wants to treat this network special like an actual PLE. There's rumors that Kevin Owens and Randy Orton will be a significant match on this card. And it got me thinking, this could be a really cool opportunity for WWE to do a throwback, vintage WWE style program. I want to see Jesse Ventura on commentary, but I also want to see WWE throw it back. Go old school. Give this whole event a feel. Maybe less LED boards and just more of that old nostalgic WWE television programming. Saturday night's main event is going to be a very big deal because WWE is going to do 4 of these per year. And of course, with them bringing it to NBC, there's just so much potential here. I love the idea of WWE doing the event. And quite frankly, I love the idea of Jesse Ventura being involved. You know what I mean? Like, Jesse Ventura and WWE, they did not have a great relationship at all. And Triple H has been fixing all of these relationships. So for me, I get excited to think that, like, hey, this is a whole different company now. This is truly a different company. I love the idea of him being back. I would like to see him back. I want to see Saturday night's main event become a big success. You know, at the end of the day, we don't know if AEW Collision will go head to head with them, but I do think WWE should bring their very best effort to this event. High profile matches, high profile title matches, legends returning, and just present it differently than how you normally present the program. I think it's not that big of an ask, but I think for the WWE, it is such a simple way to make this feel different from the other content that you're producing. So ultimately, I am excited about this, and I'm curious if you guys are as well. Let's talk about NXT and AEW. There's 2 things that you guys need to know. First and foremost, NXT has defeated AEW 2 weeks in a row in the ratings. And obviously, there's a lot of people out there who enjoy the ratings talk. I'm not personally one of them, but as of late, I do start talking about it a little bit more than often. And the reason why I'm excited to talk about it a little bit more now than ever is because I feel like the ratings conversation is so tiresome. But the one thing that is really interesting here, as you look at NXT and AEW, and you could pick your favorite show, you can do all that, you can do your tribalism thing, and that's completely fine. You are entitled to your opinion. But it does intrigue me to see that even with NXT not stacking its main roster, like not stacking the show with main roster people, it is intriguing to me to see that NXT being the 3rd WWE brand, whether you acknowledge it as a 3rd brand or developmental, it is the 3rd brand for WWE, right? And to see them go up and beat AEW in the ratings, it's quite interesting. It's fascinating to me to see that we are at a point where both companies, first of all, NXT and AEW in terms of ratings could be improved, right? Like, we're not dumb. But it is intriguing to me to see that NXT and AEW are back to being competitors. Because for a very, very long time, it seemed like AEW had surpassed NXT. And I think, you know, listen, everybody's going to have their own opinion here. I'm just going to tell you guys how I feel. AEW needs to improve. They need to improve. I didn't hate this week's episode, but I think they need to improve. I think they need to be a little bit better, right? I don't think they're putting out their best. And we've seen what Tony Khan can do when he puts out his best work. So I think when you look at the Wednesday Night Wars, it is especially interesting because They both fell under 700,000 viewers, okay? That's the reality. What's really intriguing, though, is they will be going head to head, and WWE is currently planning a show where it's going to be held at the ECW 2300 Arena, and it is specifically being planned for NXT. Dave Meltzer reported that WWE has a date booked for November 6th, and the belief is that on November 6th, NXT will go head to head with AEW because the Tuesday night where NXT would originally air, it's going to be incredibly chaotic due to the United States presidential election. So, listen, NXT going head to head with AEW on a Wednesday night becomes even a little bit more fascinating. AEW should be putting their best foot forward on that show, but so should WWE. I fully expect WWE to load up that NXT episode with tons and tons of main roster talent. And since it's at the ECW arena, I would be very happy to see WWE even bring in some ECW legends. Again, you could pick the sides all you want, but I just find it fascinating how AEW for a long time was surpassing NXT, and now it seems like they are a little bit more competitive. I think that's actually a good thing for both companies, the fact that they're neck and neck, because I think Tony Khan's best content was when he was trying to compete. And I think once he lost a little bit of that leverage after the fact, because NXT moved nights, I feel like maybe the show got a little bit lazier. This is going to, I think when Tony Khan is truly competitive, I think Tony Khan puts out a really good product. And I'm curious to see how Shawn Michaels will respond to that competition. Bad news for WWE. If you guys were excited about potentially seeing WWE at Wembley Stadium, well, if you guys were thinking it was going to happen for WrestleMania 42, it may not very well be the case. Dave Meltzer has reported in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter that WrestleMania is no longer their top priority for London, as now the NFL has shown significant interest in hosting the Super Bowl at Wembley Stadium. This is interesting. This is very interesting for a variety of reasons, because I am under the belief, personally, that the Super Bowl probably shouldn't go overseas. I know WWE's popularity globally is very big, and obviously so is the NFL's. But the NFL's core audience is in America. And I feel like it's actually really strange to think about the Super Bowl going to Wembley Stadium, because obviously the time zone difference, you know, and there's just so much that's going on. Yes, will people travel to London for the Super Bowl? I'm sure. But I would probably, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm completely ignorant and I don't know, I can't sit here and tell you guys, but I feel like WWE, in terms of bringing tourism to London, I think they would be much more successful than the NFL. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. But obviously it's bad news for WWE, because that just shows you that the city of London, like Sadiq Khan, the guy who wants WrestleMania there, it shows that he's prioritizing something else other than WWE. What will it take for WWE to get to the point where it's not negotiable? Nobody else will want to choose something over them. It's a very big question mark. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Ango Show.